Going on, everybody? Coming at you today with a video of my first level cap of the new incarnate weapons that I started messing around with. I've been waiting for this weapon and I've been waiting to put out this vid. It's been a little bit, so I haven't really been able to. But today I'm coming at you with the level cap disruption slayer of the Telos Boltor. Let me just show you a couple of clips of the Telos Boltor in action. With damage buff, without damage buff, without any damage buff, and with the full damage buff. Here's the clips. Now, as y'all just seen the clips of my Telos Boltor, I'd like to inform you that it was a ribbonless run. It was very somewhat difficult at the beginning of my combo for me to get used to, but I did it. We did it with the good weapons. I think it was a pretty decent run. It wasn't too long either. It was pretty interesting, but we did it. Let me just show you guys exactly how good this build hit. First of all, we got the compressor. Very solid primer. I think, in my opinion, it's a very good primer. We just built it for pure utility. As you could tell, nothing to kill, it's just all utility elements. We got cold, viral, and corrosive for the priming. We got some cold to slow down that demo so he cannot do damage to that conduit. We got Cascadian power to enhance that damage. And after the Cascadia, with all of this mixed, it does a load of damage on that Demlist. And after I hit him, we hit him with this build right here. But there is one thing that I used for this run, which was the Prime Bane of Grenier. I think this mod right here is a big necessary thing when it comes to level capping for this run. Bane of Grenier got the deadhead for our double serration, in my opinion. To substitute serration, you run this build right here, you go right to level cap, no problem. But let me get more in depth about how this build actually functions. We got galvanized chamber to stack our multi-shot over time. We got the Bane mod towards that faction, which gives us the double dipping damage with the combo of Zada's Whisper. And we got Deadhead for some extra damage. And now I did run 2 damage buffs on my Warframe as well. Let me just show you. So for the run, we ran holster ramp. You get plus 60% damage for 3 seconds, and vigorous swap for 165 damage for 3 seconds. You stack that up with the deadhead stacks on top of the arcane rise. We reload when we go into incarnate form for the vast majority of our kills. You stack all this together, we're doing well over 1,000 plus more damage to that Demolist. Not saying that this build needs these two mods to go. You can easily go without it, but definitely recommend the Arcane for extra damage, because extra DPS is always the best. You know what I'm saying? So, you don't need Vigorous Swap. You don't need Holster Amp. If you were going to go there, I recommend really any aura. Doesn't really matter the aura in my opinion. I prefer Holster Amp because it's a common one I like to use. It's just a personal preference. I run Vigorous Swap on the vast majority of my weapons just because I do go back and forth with my primers, with my melees, and with my primaries. So, your decision at the end of the day. But let me just show you also what I ran. I ran the Glaive Prime. Now, I just recently got a Riven, so I did take it off. But prior to my Riven, I was running the Smite Grenier. That's exactly what I ran with no Riven. But I find out that the Riven tends to work a little bit better, more, you know, a little bit more powerful with this Glaive with the Riven. But you don't need it. Prime Smite Grenier, replace it for that Riven. Boom. There's your build. Right? After that, my school, I ran Unaru. Why did I run Unaru? Well, I ran it for emergencies only. When it comes down to stacking the Deadhead stacks and stacking your primer, if you miss any shots on those level 9k Demolists, it could potentially hurt your DPS output. If you whiff the compressor procs with Zara's Whisper, your Telos Boltor Incarnate will do some damage to that Demolist, but it will be a while. So I ran Unaru for emergencies when I had to armor ship. Now, I'm not saying I had to armor ship, because no, I did not have to armor ship, but I did run it because I know. And in fact, this was my first time running a weapon like this to level cap, because I usually use the metal weapon, which is the Felarks. But let's go into the incarnations of the Boltor. So for our incarnations and evolvinations here, first one we all know, not necessary because it'll give it to you. 2, we are running increased damage by 2% and plus 20% ammo efficiency for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Now you can either run this or you can run this. Increased damage with or by 4 with channeled ability active, but that would mean you would have to constantly channel your abilities. Now running Revenant, we all know we run that Mesmer skin when it comes to level cap. Just because Revenant is more of a powerful Warframe when it comes to a long run like that. Survivability is a little bit, you know, a little bit more consistent considering the Mesmer skin, and not even that. You're not really spamming Mesmer skin as much as you think. And if you were to go to every single Demolist, you would have to channel Zada's Whisper every time, which you don't want to do because you want that primer to be right on the money. So I go with Crimson Overture. I think this one is a little bit more consistent here. And you get ammo efficiency, which is pretty insane. Alright, Evolvination 3. We got projectile speed, because we all know it's a DPS output. The more of the story here, we run projectile speed. The quicker that bullet hits the Demolist, the more faster his health depletes. But a lot of people like to, not a lot, but I'd say a vast majority of people definitely have picked this one just because the magazine capacity, because this one here has a good magazine capacity, but we all know that it's really not necessary, but some people prefer that. I don't really care about the reload speed here. Reload speed's kind of unnecessary considering its reload speed's really not even that bad. So stick with Swift Deliverance here, plus 60 projectile speed for your DPS output and faster bullets. Now, I went here with this is also preferred as well, considering that Telos Boltor has pretty high crit chance already, but I went with extra crit chance because I love crits. All I like. I love them colors. I don't like the yellow. I like the oranges and the reds. You'll hit them sometimes, but the vast majority of the time you're oranging. But still, orange, it's a nice color in this game, right? We all like the orange ones, you know what I'm saying, boys? There's also Survivor's Edge. Again, critical chance and status chance balanced out, but again, it's just not really worth it. You're losing 2% crit chance for a weapon that's already got a high crit chance. You might as well as not get this, but you can get it because it's personal preference, right? Elemental balance, increased status chance. No, this has already got base of 16. That's pretty solid, considering that the statuses are gonna proc more with the build that I showed you guys. So we'll leave this one out. We'll leave this one out here, and we're gonna go with the increased crit chance by 6 because the higher the crits, the higher the DPS, right? All right, so that's the incarnations. That's the evolvinations. Last but not least, let me just show you what this weapon can do when it comes to overall DPS. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the Mott survival, facing the corrupted heavies in the corrupted faction with the Prime Bane corrupted mod on here. No serration, just deadhead. We are genuinely just gonna demonstrate what this weapon can do. Let's get into it. Usually go 1, 2, and 3. To Incarnate, check this out. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. Right through the wall. Let's go right through the wall. Ready? Right through the wall. Look at the DPS. Check this out. Oh my gosh. And there's that glitch. I don't know why that's there, but it's there. And look how easy it is to go Incarnate. I don't usually fully charge it. I get it, vast majority. But ready? All these enemies. Right? All these enemies. Now I'm sure everybody has seen this weapon in action and on several YouTube vids already. But me, I think it's a very unique weapon, and personally one of my favorites just because of the Telos passive. Now everybody knows that some weapons have passives, only very few do. But its passive gives you one of the best, and after I kill this acolyte, I will let you guys know why this passive is important. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got the acolyte spawning. Let me just show you how much power this weapon has on these acolytes. Check this out. Not a single damage buff. Not a single damage buff. And we just absolutely obliterated him. Absolutely. There is only one thing that is boosting this weapon's DPS output here. I don't call it damage buffs here. I don't. But other people will say it. But I use the primary deadhead's stats to do my damage. But again, we got the faction mod, which is pretty important when it comes to killing certain acolytes as far as faction base. But that is the power of the Telos Boltor Incarnate. And as I said, there is a passive and it is a built up overall crit chance DPS output. Not saying it's consistent, but it's there. So, long story short, Telos Boltor with the combo of Compressor and Zada's Whisper with the Revenant run. Again, you don't need holster ramp, figure swap. You really don't. I prefer all of that stuff only because I like to go past level 48, which is when the 10k start rolling in, and I like to have fun with level 10ks, but eventually I extract. But this is my first time showing a level cap run. There will be many more in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to like, subscribe, give me comments down below on which weapon you'd like to see next. And it doesn't matter which weapon, you name it in the comments, I will gladly go to level cap with it or try to attempt it. But I will be dropping where I be streaming normally on a daily basis in the description. But until then, for the next one, guys, peace out, and I'm a chess.